Dividing and multiplying by the conjugate with radicals. So you always want to try to simplify first and try to cancel something out. That is the easiest thing I can say to do. And then your final answer cannot have a radical in the denominator. So those are the three things. Simplify first. Try to cancel out radicals or numbers if you can. Final answer cannot have a radical in the denominator. So if we have 4 square roots of 6 divided by 4 square roots of 36, square root of 36 is that perfect square. So I technically can cancel out those 4s, and I'll have the square root of 6 over 6. And that's your final answer. Same thing here. Square root of 16, perfect square. So I have 2 square roots of 7 over 4. And then we can simplify this to make it 1/2. So we have the square root of 7 over 2. Here we have the square root of 4, so that's a 2. So I have 3 square roots of 2 over 2. And it's just going to stay like that. And in this example, we have 12 square roots of 12 over 3. The only thing here, 3 is not a perfect square. So we're going to have to get rid of that. And in order to do that, you got to multiply by you have to rationalize, and you multiply by the denominator. So if it's the square root of 3, I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 3. So when I multiply up here, I'm going to have 12 square roots of 36 over square root of 3 times square root of 3 is just 3. Square root of 36 is 6. So we have 12 times 6 over 3. 12 times 6 is 72. And then 72 over 3 is 24. So that's your final answer there. If you have that square root in the bottom and it doesn't cancel out, then you need to multiply. So just like up here, we're going to have to do the same thing down here. So the square root of 5 doesn't cancel out with anything. I'm going to multiply by the square root of 5 over the square root of 5. This is going to give me this 3 square roots of 15 over 5. And that's your final answer. Same thing here. If we had the square root of 7 on the bottom, it does not simplify. So we have the square root of 7 over the square root of 7. We're going to rationalize. So we have 4 square roots of 70 over 7.
We have no subs for tomorrow yet.
Square root of 70 does not break down anymore. So 4 square roots of 70 over 7 is your final answer. If you have a coefficient and a radical, multiply by both. So in here we have 2 square roots of 2 in my denominator. I'm going to multiply by 2 square roots of 2 in the denominator and the numerator. Multiply your like terms. So coefficients, 3 times 2 gives me 6. And that'll give me square root of 6. And on the bottom, I'm going to get 4. But the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is just 2. So we have 6 square roots of 6 over 8. And then we can simplify this to 3 and 4. So that's 3 square roots of 6 over 4 as your final answer. Same thing again. Multiply, we're going to rationalize. 5 times 3 is 15. 7 times 3 is 21. On the bottom, 3 times 3 is 9, and we're multiplying that. We can technically go ahead and simplify this right away if you want to. So we have 5 square roots of 21 over 9. So remember, when we go to multiply here, 2 square roots of 3 over 2 square roots of 3, you got to remember to distribute. So you got to distribute this to everything. It'd be the same as the distributive property. So 5 times 2 is 10 square roots of 3 minus 4 minus 8. Negative 4 times 2 is 8 times 3. So we have, and then in the bottom, we're going to have 4 times 3. So up top, we will have 10 square root of 3 minus 24 over 12. 12 is going to be, actually, I don't think we can do that. 5 minus 4 square roots of 3. Square root of 3 divided by 2 square root of 3. Yes, we can do that. So this is going to become a 5. This is going to become a 2. This is going to become a 12. So common number was, of course, 2. Over here it was 6. But 5 square roots of 3 minus 12 over 2 is your final answer there. So just simplify what you can. If a binomial is in the bottom, multiply by the conjugate. So this time we have that binomial in the bottom. By the conjugate, so the conjugate of 3 plus 2 square roots of 3 is 3 minus 2 square roots of 3. The conjugate is the same numbers, your sign just changes. So I need to multiply by the conjugate. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 4 minus 3 square roots of 2 over 4 minus 3 square roots of 2. What that does in my denominator is gives me a difference of squares problem. If we were to, we would have to FOIL method this. So you FOIL method, you get rid of that middle term. Up here, we're going to do the distributive property. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times negative 3 square roots of 2 is negative 9 square roots of 2. Then on the bottom, 4 times 4 is 16. We're going to have that minus sign. 3 times 3 is 9. And we'll have 9 times 2. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2. So 12 minus 9 square roots of 2 over 16 minus 18. Your final answer is going to be negative 12 minus 9 square roots of 2 over negative 2.